Hey everyone, it's Jamie from Independence Street NOLA, and I'm here with the Crimson Cadaverous, my friend
Hello.
Helen, and we are here for our weekly celestial chat / update. And this is the week for 10/31 into November.
Yes.
This is so wild. So let's start with Monday, which is Halloween.
Yep. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, and then of course Happy All Saints Day, and then Day of the Dead as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about Monday. What's going on Monday is the moon is in Capricorn.
Yes.
And it will be conjunct Pluto of
Yes.
all days.
I know. I think that's perfect energy for Halloween. I'm very excited.
I am
you know,
too.
it's already like an emotional depths kind of energy with that like moon conjunct Pluto, but then it's Halloween. So it's like, I think there's a spiritual aspect to it as well. With that, specifically with that sextile we have with Jupiter and Pisces.
Okay, and what exactly is a sextile?
So that is 2 signs away, 60 degrees from the moon, which is in Capricorn.
Okay, so the moon's in Capricorn, and then Pisces is, and then Jupiter is in Pisces.
Yes.
So basically it's sextiling because Pisces is 2 signs away from Capricorn.
That is correct.
Okay. Yes, and I also think this is a great day, just being maybe a practitioner, if you will, of certain things. And the moon is in Capricorn.
Yes.
And Capricorn is the sign of work.
Do your work.
Do your work,
Yeah.
ladies and germs, thems and theys. And then it's conjunct Pluto, which means it's having a deep conversation with
Yes.
Pluto. And so Pluto is there to help celebrate this stuff.
Yes.
Celebrate this intuition. So.
But then right afterwards, we have the moon move into Aquarius.
Yep, so that's what's happening Tuesday. Let's get into the moon in Aquarius.
Yes. And right after midnight, we have the first quarter moon, which is a fixed first quarter moon between the Aquarius moon and Scorpio sun. But again, we have a lot of really good energy with that, especially with that conjunction with Saturn, because it's very grounded. So whatever action we're taking, it's grounded. It's practical. It's, we've already made our to-do list. We know where we're going with it.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I would see it too, because Aquarius is fixed, Scorpio is fixed.
Yeah.
And then Saturn has just turned direct, wants that stability.
Yep.
So the things that we were working through with on Monday, which could, run the scope. It just doesn't necessarily have to be like ancestral Halloween-y things. It can be a lot of things that we're releasing, with Pluto.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday, you say this moon's in Aquarius, right? So we're bringing in that forethought, that future, and we're seeing how we can make it stable.
Yep. And it's like no better day than the first to talk about moving forward with things.
Yes.
So, yeah. Moving into a new month, November is going to be even more exciting than October has been.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in agreement on that for sure.
Yeah. So started off with the first quarter moon. Why not, right?
Yes. Okay, so then Wednesday is the 2nd. That's
Yes.
now the 2.
I kept doing that when I was making my notes too.
Yes.
I kept thinking that when I was making notes
So
also.
the 2nd will be Wednesday. The moon is still in Aquarius.
Yep.
And then Venus comes back into the picture.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think that I think it's great to note that Venus is still the star of the show. She's
I'm ready.
doing so much. She's transforming so much with herself and the collective. And this is really important because at this point, she forms a conjunction with the South Node. So the South Node is what we're collectively leaving behind. And that's in Scorpio right now, as well as Venus, of course.
Yes.
And so obviously that is in opposition to the North Node, but we always got to, talk about the fact that it is also conjunct the South Node. So not only where are we moving forward, but what are we leaving behind?
Right, and as you and I were kind of talking before we started rolling, but it was like leaving, the South Node leaving the stuff behind that we no longer need to bring with us, or those lower vibes, and Scorpio is in that South Node.
Yep.
And because Venus, her time right now is in Scorpio, and she's conjunct with us, but we're like talking about like it's a way of loving yourself,
Yes.
right? It's not like a torture. Like I'm leaving this, I'm letting this stuff go because
it's like an act of self-love to leave these things behind because we know they don't belong to us anymore.
Right, or there's nothing to be ashamed about
Right.
it, right? Like that's really not that big of a deal.
No.
Or you guys fill in the blanks with this story, but Venus is there. She's soothing this release basically on Wednesday. The 2nd.
Yes.
Yes, of November. Okay, Thursday is the 3rd.
Yep.
The moon will move into Pisces.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Anything?
I think basically the big story is going to be the next day,
Okay.
Friday,
All right.
when.
So sorry, moon in Pisces. Thank you for.
Well, we're still in Pisces,
okay.
same day.
Yeah. Okay. So Friday we're still there. Okay, and then the moon will be in Pisces.
Forming conjunctions with both Jupiter and Neptune.
Mm-hmm.
So we could not get more dreamy,
Yeah.
more in depth, more intangible than this, but also
Friday,
more
yeah.
spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Because how do we really tap into our spirituality except for releasing to the intangible?
Mm-hmm.
And we can't touch all that.
That's right. Right. No, that's a great way to look at that too.
And so I think this is like a day for releasing to that.
Mm-hmm. So you guys get ready on Friday.
Yep.
Just a lot of dreamy, like you said, like that's a day I would say that we would use magic, or like when I talk to people and I say like you've got to like just allow a little space for some magic to come in. This would be a
Yes.
good day for that to happen. Like you don't have to think about it. Just say I'm allowing some space for some magic to come in to kind of like lubricate some things, to move things around.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's squaring Mars, who he just went retrograde.
Yep.
So he is at this point in time contemplating slowing down. So he's telling us to slow down too.
Right.
So this is just that day where it's like observing what's around us and taking it all in versus trying to figure it all out.
Yeah. Yeah. I
We
agree
don't
with
have
that.
to figure it all out,
Don't figure it out.
especially on Friday.
Yeah. No. Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, we give you permission.
Hey, it's Friday. Moon in Pisces. Okay, so Saturday.
Saturday is very different energy.
Right, the moon will move into Aries.
Yes.
Okay, Aries is the initiator.
Yep.
Okay, so that's where our moon's moving into.
And we have all of the other personal planets except for Mars in another Martian sign, Scorpio. So Scorpio was the, ancient ruler was Mars before
yeah.
Pluto was discovered. And so we've got Sun, Mercury, and Venus in Scorpio, and we've got the moon in Aries. It is very Martian energy.
Get for it. Go for
Very,
it.
very masculine energy, of course. But the only planet that's not in a Martian sign is Mars. Mars is in Gemini.
Yeah, he's in an
Kinda
air sign.
Seeing both sides of things.
So that's good. And two, you guys, like, we were saying, like, very masculine energy, but Scorpio is a water sign.
Yep.
At the same time. So that is feelings and emotion. So use all this to balance this stuff out. The moon is in Aries, it's initiating your intuition. I'm laughing just because it says Martian as fuck on our notes.
It is.
Yeah.
It's that day. It's like all of a sudden we went from this like dreamy Pisces as fuck energy to, super Martian. So it's like, it's a big shift, but I think it's almost like we're learning how to balance that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's learning that balance and learning like how when these things come in, what's the right kind of balance is the word I'm thinking of, or even like time and space, allowing those dreams to be able to kind of filter in and take hold in order to start becoming reality.
Yeah. And
And so-
allowing for things to be like, it's not that we have to be one or the other, we can be both.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think that big shift kind of helps us learn that. And that same day on Saturday, we've got Venus again coming into play in Scorpio opposite Uranus now in Taurus, which we've been doing that Uranus North Node thing for a while.
Yeah.
And again, just leaving those old paradigms behind, leaving the way that we thought we had to do things, we
Right.
were supposed to do things, and embracing something new.
Yeah.
And that new feeling might be just going from like super Pisces energy to super Aries energy in the course of 24 hours and knowing what to do with it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And two, I think that it's important to, when you're talking about this, super Aries energy, it is the moon, right? So that's going to feel different than like if the sun was in Aries.
Yep.
And then the same with like all these personal planets in Scorpio. And it is time for us as people to start noticing the differences, like the subtle differences in energy.
Yeah.
Right. It's also us for us like start noticing like we do see and experience the world as a unit,
Yes.
not just masculine or feminine, but as a cohesive unit. And the subtle differences they're there, but they are subtle. And so it's time. It's time for us to start doing that, everybody.
Yes.
Okay, so Sunday, the moon will still be in Aries.
Yep.
Okay, and then you have down here that Venus, well, technically on Monday.
Yeah.
Whatever. Venus will square Saturn right after midnight. But
Right.
with this moon in Aries still on Sunday, how are you wrapping up the week, you think, with
Well, I
this
think
energy?
how we're wrapping up the week is we're grounding in this energy and we have something to actually move forward with. And I especially think about that because right before we move into the next week, we have the moon move into Taurus. So very grounded, very fixed energy. And again, we've had a lot of things going on throughout the week. And this is just kind of like our ability to kind of move forward from that.
Yeah.
I see
agree.
that especially with the Venus square Saturn, where it's like, you know, the
Yeah.
stability and knowing how to love ourselves to move forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, this is going to be a good week, you guys. Happy Halloween and all those things.
Happy
and
spooky time.
Happy spooky times. Use this time, to speak to your ancestors and to just really use this time to heal these old wounds, that need to be healed, right? Like the veil is thin. This is a good time to put out a bunch of love and energy. And with the week coming up, this is a good time to do it. And then, bringing all that love in with Venus. She's here. She's in Scorpio, which is the underworld. So,
Yeah.
this is a great time. So if you guys have any questions, as always, you can reach out to me and Helen
Yep.
via Instagram or our YouTube channels. Until that, we will see you guys next week.